You're watching a special episode of DJ Wolf Live on For All Tier TV. Here's DJ Wolf.
Hey, it's your boy DJ Wolf here. Couple things on my mind. I'm sad to report the passing of Muhammad Ali. He was 74. He died last night. My understanding that he was surrounded by his family, and I'm sad to hear about that, man, because Muhammad Ali was one of my earliest heroes when I was growing up. And you're not on that. He was one of my heroes growing up. I really admire that guy. I admired him for what he did as a person. I admired him for his spirit, his character. Yes, he was brash. Yes, he was bold. And yes, he spoke his mind. You know, he used his celebrity to speak out against the ills that was going on in this country. I applaud him for that. I really, truly applaud him for that. You know, he started out boxing young, and he eventually went to Olympics and then turned pro right after it. Then he became a Muslim sometime after he turned pro. I'm gonna continue talking. Anyway, he was a devout Muslim. He practiced Islam from that point on. He was so into his convictions that he took a stand against the Vietnam War. And he just basically told the government, because the government tried to draft him, I ain't fighting the white man's war. I respect him for that. I truly do. I respect when a man believes in his convictions even when no one else does. I respect that man. I respect him very much. You know, Muhammad Ali was not going to sit on his laurels and let people dictate who he was. You know, he was proud of his heritage. He was proud of being black. And took no shame in it. He told him, Viet Cong never called me no nigga. What I got from that was, Viet Cong never called me no nigga, never hung my people, never raped my women or my children. He didn't do anything. The only thing he did was get involved in the war. But he didn't bother me. Yet, people in my own country are going to tell me to go fight a war and die in the war, just like my people was dying in the streets in the very country that I was fighting for. It takes a real man to stand up, not only for what you believe in, but to stand up against the very people who told you to, boy, go fight my damn war. He said, I ain't fighting no motherfucking body war. And he did. He was out of boxing for 3 years. nothing stopped him from being the man that he was. He didn't let that change him, not for 1 minute. And he was already a legend prior to that. He became an even bigger legend after that. And fought some of the greatest boxers in boxing history, including Sugar Ray. Including George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, and others. I respect him for all that. And matter of fact, he gained even more respect since he had took the stance to look against the war. Muhammad Ali was also a noted humanitarian philanthropist, civil rights fighter, and Samaritan. Good Samaritan. And ambassador of goodwill. I respect Muhammad Ali for that. I still do, and I always will. You know, in the 70s, when I was a kid, there was Muhammad Ali was such a big name. He was such a worldwide household phenom in the 70s that they actually did DC Comics commissioned a comic book about him fighting Superman. It's called Superman versus Muhammad Ali. I had that and I've had it on there for a while. I had that very comic book cover on my phone as a screensaver. Just because that's how much I thought about Muhammad Ali. That's how much I respected him. And that's how much I love him. I feel that we lost a great champion. A great champion of not only black culture, of the black race, black experience, because he embodied that. He embodied that through his mind, through his soul, through his spirit. You know, if you ever watch any of his old boxing films, movies, interviews, Muhammad Ali was one guy who was going to tell people what was on his mind, no matter whether they liked it or not. He told sportscasters, news reporters, other boxers, managers alike. He told people what was on his mind, and it won't make you like it, whether you like it or not. You know, that was Ali in a nutshell. And he was a man about speaking of what was on his mind. You know, he wasn't about to be shut up or shut down or set down. You know, and I respect him even more, even after he had contracted the Parkinson's disease. He kept going. He kept being the humanitarian that he was. He didn't sit down there. Let that be a lesson to you guys tomorrow. I can't find no job and all the other bullshit. I can't was never in Muhammad Ali's vocabulary. It was not. Yeah, I mean, yes, he had Parkinson's disease, but you notice that Ali, he kept going. He kept going. One thing I admire about the older generation is that if you really, this is why I'm gonna get the Snoop Dogg thing in a minute. This is why I admire the older generation, because of their tenacity for what they went through, and they laid the platform for you. Someone on YouTube was talking about, well, the old generation didn't do this, they didn't do that, you know. You blame the old generation for civil rights. If it wasn't for civil rights, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing today. You know, I thought about that, you know, some cases, as far as the generation before us that all they did was work, and no one built like foundations for job creations within the community, that may be one thing. That's another whole story. But as far as just saying, okay, there's the civil rights generation for a while, we didn't mess with today, it's bullshit. If you ever say that, you bullshit, I'm gonna call your ass out every time you say it. What the young people need to be doing today is carrying the ball. Now, some of y'all think the older generation should have been just, did enough where you wouldn't have to do anything. No, they ain't working like that. You have to carry the torch. You have to continue on the legacy. You have to. And this is where I'm getting at about Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, personally, I love Snoop Dogg as a rapper. I respect his work as a rapper and actor and all of that. I really do. But this dude gonna tell people about, I'm sick of that, they need to be doing better videos about positive people and all that. This nigga been doing porn videos for 20 years. But you want to tell somebody about what they need to be doing for black people in terms of movies and stuff, and you ain't doing it. And you have the influence to do it your damn self. I'm calling it what it is. For you to say that, Snoop, is complete bullshit. And yeah, did I say bullshit? Yeah, that's what it is. But yet you're not doing it. But you're telling everybody else they need to do it. Why don't you do it? You don't want slave movies. You're tired of seeing about slave movies, and you talking about they shouldn't be doing those slave movies anymore. Why aren't you doing movies where it shows positive people? I've yet to see you do that, brother. Don't be such a hypocrite, because that's what you are right now. And I'm a big fan of yours. I really am a big fan. But you're a hypocrite right now. Real talk. For saying what you're saying. But the way I understand, because sometimes I get sick of watching too. But there's one thing you can do. You can start watching. How about that? Turn on the TV, don't go to the movies. Because as long as people are able to make movies, they're going to make movies about what they want to put out there. But on the other hand, you can too. If you're sick of seeing it, why don't you put something out there where people can see? They ain't about that. Their life. But on the other hand, you have to understand one other thing. There was an old saying. If you don't realize about the events of the past and understand about your past, you're doing the repeating. It's DJ Wolf. My condolences to the family of Muhammad Ali. We lost a great one, and I always respect him for who he was as a man. I'm out.